could love to see it, Maharaj. In Fiji. Okay. So, and he's also, so he's dedicated a temple to his god brother and mentor, His Holiness Tamal Krishna Goswami Maharaj. Currently, he's pursuing in fulfilling Srila Prabhupada's desire to build a temple in Bangkok. So we would welcome Maharaj here once by loudly chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Okay, so he's also in the Sannyas committee. So Maharaj, thank you so much for giving your association to us and blessing all of us. So Kannadadalli Anuvada, Kannada translation is happening there. इसको भी हिंदी का अनुवाद चाहिए दर्द जी चले जाना राधा रंजन माधव प्रभु राम हरि प्रभु if one of you are there if you could Ram Hari Prabhu thank you so much so if you can go there जिसको भी हिंदी में अनुवाद चाहिए तो आप दर्द जी के पास चले जाना कन्नड़ದಲ್ಲಿ ಅನುವಾದ ಬೇಕಾದವರು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬರ್ಬೋದು ಕಲ್ಕಡೆಗೆ ಧನ್ಯವಾದ
Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Jashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Jashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Shodanandana Jashodanandana Braja Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Vijana Vallabha Girivardhari Vijana Vallabha Girivardhari Jashodanandana Braja Janarindana Jashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jayam Vishwapad Paramahamsa Parivrajagacharya Astottar Sato Shishimat His Divine Grace Srila Vaicharana Arvinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada Ki ISKCON BBT Founder Acharya Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada Ki Jayam Vishwapad Paramahamsa Parivrajagacharya Astottar Sato Shishimat His Divine Grace Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Maharaj Srila Prabhupada Ki Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Prem se kaho Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopinath Shyama Kunda Radha Kunda Giri Govardhan Ki Brajami Vrindavan Dham Ki Navadip Mayapur Dham Ki Jagannath Puri Dham Ki Ganga Mai Ki Jamuna Mai Ki Bhakti Devi Ki Tulsi Maharani Ki Samavita Bhakta Vrinda Ki Nitai Gaura Premanande all glories to assembled devotees all glories to assembled devotees all glories to assembled devotees glories to Sri Sri Guru and Sri Maharaj जय अनुकूल्य केशव प्रभु की जय और माता जी की भी जय So we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1st, chapter number 3 and text number 37. It's important, very, very important to understand the first canto. Previously, Srila Prabhupada put the first canto into 3 volumes. And out of that, the first volume of the first canto was the most important of all the other cantos. It was so potent, that anybody curious can also get trapped into it. Indian diaspora, everywhere else, they try to keep their culture intact, even though they go to foreign countries. They feel they are like fish out of water there. But with money flowing, they are ready to even sacrifice their own culture. So, the first canto, first volume was written by Srila Prabhupada. Then the second volume and third volume came in time. He brought these 3 volumes of Srimad Bhagavatam, 3 trunk load from R.R. Sheth and Company in Mumbai. It was shipped to Cochin, and then it was loaded on the steamer because Cochin was nearer than Calcutta. So somehow or another, Prabhupada arrived in Kerala and Cochin got this footprints, but it is very difficult. If they ever have produced the first canto afterwards, devotees were very much enthusiastic to get it printed, and that particular volume, first canto, first volume, was printed in 500,000 copies, and it was distributed worldwide, even free. Devotees were so feverish because they understood what we are going to understand from this particular verse of today is of that potency which will never be found anywhere else. But with this proper understanding set by Sutta Goswami and the discussion which is going on in glorification of Srimad Bhagavatam, the subject matter of Srimad Bhagavatam is an eye-opener. Of course, I was fortunate enough to get this volume. Devotees would bring to me many other books, but never gave me Srimad Bhagavatam. But somehow or another, my father got from a garbage can in New York, and he picked up and brought home. He did not read it, but I read it, and I fell flat. That's correct. But then he also became a devotee. I have to take care of my mother and my father, spiritually also. They consider you are our spiritual master. They were initiated. But to understand the traditional value of Srimad Bhagavatam through Bhagavad Katha that is going on, or Saptahas that is going on, you don't get an iota of Krishna Tattva. You don't get. They don't touch such subject matter. So, to emphasize the first canto, it's not only a reading matter, but it is a contemplative urge of finding Krishna Tattva. So today's verse is also very important. Here in Krishna Tattva, the subject matter of all the incarnations, for them, their source is Lord Krishna. So Krishna is the source of all incarnation, is the title. Even no other avatars claimed that other avatars are coming from him. No way. Only Krishna has to be claimed. Krishna has to be established as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, as Adi Purusham. From other Purushas are expanding. So, let's try to understand this particular verse, and then I will try to expand for easy understanding. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. We are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1st, chapter number 3, and text number 37. Na chasya nischa asya kaschit nipunena dhatu avaiti jantu kumanisha utihi namani rupani manah vachobi santavatah natacharyam iva agyah na chasya kaschid nipunena dhatu ravaiti jantu kumanashauti namani rupani manovachobhi santavanto natacharya vivagya na chasya kaschin nipunena dhatu avaiti jantu kumanisha uti namani rupani manovachobhi santanvato natacharya vivagya na chasya kaschin nipunena dhatu avaiti jantu kumanisha uti namani rupani manovachobhi santanvato natacharya vivagya Mothers, na, not, cha, and asya, of him, kaschit, anyone, nipunena, by dexterity, dhatu, of the creator, avaiti, can know, jantuhu, the living being, kumanisha, with poor fund of knowledge, utihi, activities of the Lord, namani, his names, rupani, his forms, manahavachobihi, by dint of mental speculation or deliverance of speeches. Santanmataha, displaying, natacharyam, a dramatic action, eva, like, agyaha, of the foolish. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. The foolish with a poor fund of knowledge cannot know the transcendental nature of the forms, names and activities of the Lord, who is playing like an actor in a drama. Nor can they express such things neither in their speculation nor in their words. No one can properly describe the transcendental nature of the Absolute Truth. Therefore, it is said that He is beyond the expression of mind and speech. And yet, there are some men with poor fund of knowledge who desire to understand the Absolute Truth by imperfect mental speculation and faulty description of His activities. To the layman, His activities, appearance and disappearance, His names, His forms, and paraphernalia, His personalities, and all things in relation with Him are mysterious. There are two classes of materialists, namely the fruity workers and the empirical philosophers. The fruity workers have practically no information about the Absolute Truth, and the mental speculators, after being frustrated in fruitive activities, turn their faces towards the Absolute Truth and try to know Him by the mental speculation. And for all these men, the Absolute Truth is a mystery, as the jugglery of a magician is a mystery to the children. Being deceived by the jugglery of the Supreme Being, the non-devotees, who may be very dexterous in fruitive work and mental speculation, are always in ignorance. With such limited knowledge, they are unable to penetrate into the mysterious region of transcendence. The mental speculators are a little more progressive than the gross materialist or the fruitive workers, but because they are also within the grip of illusion, they take it for granted that anything which has a form, a name, or activities is but a product of material energy. For them, the Supreme Spirit is formless, nameless, and inactive. And because such mental speculators equalize the transcendental name and form of the Lord with the mundane names and form, they are in fact in ignorance. With such a poor fund of knowledge, there is no access to the real nature of the Supreme Being. As stated in Bhagavad Gita, the Lord is always in the transcendental form, and when He is within this material world, but ignorant men consider the Lord one of the great personalities of the world, and thus they are misled by the illusory energy. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Guruve Namah Sri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Juta Padakamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavascha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sanjeevam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lalita Shri Shakanvitasya He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Radhakantu Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Devandavaneshwari Vrishabhano Sute Devi Pranamami Haripriya Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Namah Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharane Nirvishesha Sanyavadi Paschatya Desatarane Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. न चास्य कश्चिन निपुणेन धातु रवैति जंतु को मनीष होती नामानि रूपाणि मनोभिवचोभि संतन्मतो नटचर्या अभिभाग्य. Again the translation. The foolish man with a poor fund of knowledge cannot know the transcendental nature of the forms, names and activities of the Lord, who is playing like an actor in a drama, nor can they express such things neither in their speculation nor in their words. So, this is the topic of inconceivable nature of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Naham prakasa sarvasya yoga maya samavrita. I am not exposed to anybody and everybody because I am covering myself through the veil of yoga maya. Yoga maya is favorable for the devotees, but she is not favorable to non-devotees. That's why she is called Mahamaya. Otherwise, Maya is illusory energy. But this illusory energy is not for the devotees. She is favorable to devotees. So how much can we remain in ignorance or illusion? We have to strike our whatever intelligence has been given on this point only, that for a devotee, Tesham satata yuktanam bhajatam pratipurvakam dadami buddhi yogam tam yena mamupayanti de. They must, without consideration that whether she is helping or not helping, they must serve in whatever potency, whether physical or spiritual potency, Krishna will reveal accordingly. Again, ye yatha mam prapadyante tam sathaiva bhajamyaham. In the degree of our surrender to Lord Shri Krishna, He will reciprocate with us. Mama vartamanu vartante manusha partha sarvasa. He does not distinguish, but sarvasa means all. Everybody is under the influence of Yogamaya. Yogamaya Samavrita. Material energy is to be connected with Krishna, then she is Yogamaya. If it is connected for our sense gratification, the same energy is Mahamaya. There are no several types of Mayas. Maya means Maya. How much can we remain ignorant of her influence? We have been given access to serve even in the material life. But there is a misunderstanding in general populace that those who have not realized Krishna's divine energy, Daivi Hesha Gunamayi Mama Maya Duratya, nobody can come out from its influence. But those who are devoted to Krishna, Mameva ye prapadyante maya metam tarantite. He doesn't tell this is Yogamaya and that is. No. Gunamayi. There are transcendental nature or transcendental qualities of Maya also. And there are material qualities of Maya also. Only Krishna is in control. For the devotees, the same Maya can become influential for liberation. And she becomes very, very protective of the devotional service of the devotee. See the example of Jada. She was in the form of Durga Devi, Chamunda. But Jada was under influence of Chamunda? No. The worshippers of that Mahamaya, they were under influence of material energy. So, Jad Bharat was protected, and the so-called devotees of Chamunda, they were chopped up by herself. So, there are no different kinds of Maya. Ma means not, Ya means this. So, otherwise, even if we are practicing devotees, we are learning so much, but somehow or another we end up employing our material energy in service of Krishna. But how do you see this material energy? We have been ill-trained to enjoy the resources of material energy. Then we are in the grip of Mahamaya. But those who are not in the grip of Mahamaya, they must be worshipping the Supreme Personality of Godhead with all their physical might. Physical might means whatever they have, the same resources. If it is connected with Krishna, she becomes Yogamaya. Yoga means to connect with. Illusion is connected with Krishna in devotional service. So when the living entities, especially the neophyte devotees, when they try to engage physically in service of Lord Krishna, there is no difference between who is advanced and who is not advanced. But we are supposed to associate with them, learn. Anything can go in Krishna consciousness. ISKCON is famous for this. The Jadvadi or impersonalist, Mayavadis, they keep Maya isolated from Krishna. So their temples are very poor. They don't attract the crowds like what ISKCON is doing. So it is the divine energy. Energy itself is divine. Material energy is also divine because it has transformation. Energy can be transformed but cannot be produced. So all different transformations of Mahamaya can be utilized in service of Krishna. That is connection. Prabhupada would be concerned about wasting of electricity. Nobody should keep the light on. If there is nobody, turn off. So you can see the distinguished character of that great personality who taught us this practicality of employing the energy of the Supreme Personality Godhead in His service. That becomes a devotional service if we become conscious of wasting material energy, not allowing to be used in proper service of Krishna. Otherwise, in the showrooms, the lights are 24 hours on, just to attract little stronger Maya, making people full. There are two places where you see a lot of lights. One in the restaurant and another in the jewelry shop. So much glamour, so much sense gratification, so much. But that is a waste. It is Mahamaya there. And they will remain under its influence perpetually. But the same energy, when consciously utilized in service of Lord Krishna, it's all right, Prabhu. I'm okay. Swelling will come, and swelling will go. Swelling is also Maya. So, utility is the principle. Utility is the principle. Otherwise, so many volumes of the first canto, first part, were gone in the garbage. I don't know. But those who are conscious of the spiritual potency of the Lord invested in this divine literature can easily pick up. That is an act of Krishna consciousness. In so many pious families' houses, books are there, but they never open. It's a material energy for them. Because they are not inclined to read even. So they are in Mahamaya. They can't say, oh, I have the book. He can't think whimsically that this is Yogamaya. Just keep the book. So, Lord Shri Krishna emphasizes that to understand me, Janma karma cha me divyam evam vettiyo tattvataha. Evam vetti. Kevam? How? No, evam. Evam vettiyo tattvataha. Try to understand, connect everything with Krishna, and that is called evam. If the books are not being served by reading or by contemplating on the subject matter it is describing, or anybody who is attracted to read, a visitor or a relative may come, then it's worthwhile. But serving to the holy book means reading is a service to the holy book. So the divine potency it is embedded. Is there anybody here who has never read any book of Srila Prabhupada? Raise your hand.
How many reading you can ask? I ask on every Vyasa, but hardly anybody hangs it. Okay, how many are reading actually? That is the most important.
Now, but somehow or another, Prabhupada trapped us by writing huge volumes as well as small books too. So in whatever framework he's trying to capture all the fish. Everybody has read some part. Each and every book is little bit, but they don't have continual habit. They don't want to increase and go into the deeper meaning of the divinity aspect. Daivi, you acknowledge, yes, there is something like Daivi. Gunamai, what is Gunamai? There are three gunas, Sattva, Raj and Tama. But that is material. But Sat, Chit, Anand, there are three transcendental gunas too. If Krishna is Satchidananda Vigraha, the formation of Sat means eternity, absolute truth. Chit means fully knowledgeable. And Anand means he has perceived the result. No other literature can become transcendently potent with these three potencies. You cannot find these three potencies in a novel. But in Srila Prabhupada's any book, Prabhupada said, I give guarantee any book will deliver you from the clutches of Maya. So don't become miser. Allow yourself in the service of the book. Not only book distribution. Prabhupada said, how can you distribute book if you do not know what is the subject matter in it? The books are for the devotees first, and then to give benefit to the others. So, he says there are two classes of people. Those who are karmis and others who are mental philosophers. They are real mental. The karmis are so engrossed in the activity of the products of their hard labor. But such hard labor does not invoke the attention of Lord Krishna. Notpadaye yadi ratim shrama evahi kevalam. It's nothing but useless labor, because the attraction to the Supreme Personality of Godhead has never been invoked. On the other behalf, you have been given Varnashram Dharma. Varnashram Dharma does not come in your devotional service. But employment of Varnashram Dharma for the pleasure or satisfaction of the Supreme does come in your devotional service. Atta Pambi Dvijasreshta Varnashama Vivāgasha Sanutishtasya Dharmasya Sansiddhim Haritoshanam. Haritoshanam. Is there any activity that can not be counted for the pleasure of the Lord? The Lord is not a conjuice person. He is allowing grahasthas to beget the children and in devotion to Lord Shri Krishna. Even liberated sannyasis who are carrying the Lord within their heart, like Karda Muni. When the Lord tells him, I want to come as your son, the hell with sannyas. I will conduct that devotional service. The Lord says that. So Karda Muni agreed to marry Devhuti. And Lord Kapila was thus born. It's a service. Otherwise, if you see, what is the use of giving all the names of dynasties in Srimad Bhagavatam? Somebody tried to put up a chart of these dynasties, starting from Manu Maharaj and Shatrupa, all the human dynasties that started. They are the beginning point. People are totally dissuaded by, India crossed over in population, China also. But the aim of begetting children is meant for service to Lord Krishna. It will be automatic, control of the population. That is the first and foremost instruction given for an ideal grahastha. An example is Karda Muni and Devhuti. You can't take your attention away from Lord Shri Krishna, just even for a second, away. But that is the perfection of householder life. So behind all this, Lord Krishna has set in all the rules and regulations, and automatically they are being carried on by the Maya. But Krishna wants Maya to be real assistant. It is his energy. So here, Yoga Maya Subhadra is there. You may wonder, why Krishna is so fond of Subhadra, very dear sister. And Balram was equally taking care of her. They are all progeny of Vasudeva. Vasudeva has several wives, but it is for the pleasure of Lord Shri Krishna himself that he chose to become his son. Balaram also became his son, but with another mother. Subhadra also. In this way, he shows the expansion of the family, but for the pleasure of the Supreme Absolute Truth that has to be conveyed. This is divine character, and we are asked to understand with the eyes of divinity. Unless and until we become divine, we cannot understand Krishna's divinity. Evam vettiyo tattvata. Evam means the same way. As Krishna says, we have to see. Now, who will show that? Only Srila Prabhupada in our lifetime has shown. Nobody else has shown us. We are looking for that absolute personality of Godhead, whom this credit has to be awarded, because he gave personal instructions. In Bhagavad Gita, even in Srimad Bhagavatam, Lord speaks of himself. Just if you take the Chatushloki Bhagavatam, he asserts his divinity. Not even that of Brahma or Shiva. He is the source of everything. Aham sarvasya prabhavo mattah sarvam prabhata. He is the singular entity. He is not an ordinary person. Understanding is far away. What to speak of loving him? It requires constant upgrading of our consciousness. And more intense devotional service just for his own pleasure that we do, then we will be benefited. Otherwise, his mystery. Raise your hands. Is Krishna mystery for you? Is Krishna mystery for you? Please pay attention to this sloka very much. He is compared with the actor. If it's an actor, actor is a singular word. He may expand simultaneously or another single expansion. A single expansion of that same actor gives us some time limit to understand. But he expanded as Narayan himself to bewilder Brahma. Brahma Vimohan Leela. Brahma has 4 heads. but they could not understand. Devotional service, devotional service. Then Brahma is reminded, yes, I know something of foundation to know you, but you really baffled me. You are inconceivable. Simultaneously expanded in the same Gopa children and calves, exactly, and kept on playing instantly for the 1 year, full year. Gave satisfaction to the parents of those young cowherds and the calves. And their desire to have Krishna as their child. It's not only Devaki and Vasudev desired. So many are desiring. But those who were qualified to be devotee, they were ready to accept, even in illusion. We think Krishna put all the cowherdsmen and their wives, the gopis, who were desiring Krishna as their son, so they can freely distribute or gather droplets of love that Yashoda and Nanda Maharaj are experiencing. And Krishna says, no problem. And he befooled Brahma and gave himself available directly, without disguise, in the form of their own children, that even they were so bewildered. Transcendental bewilderment means they were completely in harmony with exchange of that love and the taste of pure devotion afforded them. Krishna fulfilled their desires. Even cows and the bulls, their desires were fulfilled. Krishna is so much reciprocating. Krishna is fulfilling knowingly or unknowingly, means it is applying to us, but he is fulfilling the desires. So we have to concentratedly involve him in each and every activity, whether at home or at work. Krishna will not disappoint you. But if you become speculative, then Mahamaya will be there, will baffle you. What is the use of understanding activities of Mahamaya? She is very faithful servant and keeps the people in illusion. But those who are desirous of loving Krishna in any capacity, she will clear their path. So, this particular verse is telling that two kinds of people: the speculative people, impersonalist, those who do not know about the transcendental nature of the or transcendental energy of the Lord, Atma Maya or Yoga Maya. Because they are not devotees. They refrain from serving Lord Krishna. So, keeping the transcendental nature of Satchidananda away from him, they think it is a byproduct of knowledge. But that is not the fact. Without performing devotional service, they can't anticipate Satchit Anand, the transcendental potency of the Lord. So for them, speculative knowledge means, why speculation? Because there is no foundation. There is no foundation. And therefore they misdirect others. If somebody is in confusion, do you think he can clear anybody's confusion? So it is better to be with a devotee and engage in devotional service. The confusion will go away. So these philosophical speculators, Krishna is very difficult to understand. They cannot understand however they may proficiently declare as learned scholars. I had a cousin, she was doing her MA in Sanskrit, and they were given subject matter of Lalita Madhav and Vidagdha Madhav, Aparupa Goswami. She did not become a devotee. These are the higher subject of knowing a pure devotee's mind, and the most important transcendental activities of the Supreme Lord. She did not. I told her, unless and until you start serving the Lord through the holy name, then everything will. But she says, no. I said, tathastu. That's there. She's also the first child of our joint family. I was the second. But she had developed this false ego that I'm senior and I'm professor and I have earned my name and this in the society of whom crows. So this subject matter of Srimad Bhagavatam telling about the inconceivable potency of Lord Shri Krishna to be understood. And our Goswami, Srila Rupa Goswami, says, Achintyasya khalu bhava tam starkena yojet. Prakrutebhya parebhyascha tam achintyasya lakshanam. Guidance. This material philosophies, they do not know this. Achintya means inconceivable. Bhava means the mood and mission of the Supreme Lord, how he acts, how he does all through the divine potency. You cannot contemplate with your mundane logic Tarkena yojayet. Many a time, Srila Prabhupada, if somebody is trying to use mundane logic to give an example, Prabhupada will shut him up. What do you know about logic? Huh? Here is the logic. 1 plus 1 is equal to 1. 1 minus 1 is equal to 1. How is that? Well, then tell me why 1 multiplied by 1 is equal to 1 and 1 divided by 1 is equal to 1. This is the logic. Mundane logic fails there. Huh? One is Krishna. When he wants to take away everything, he remains one. So, achintyastu khalu bhava. The subject matter of the transcendental nature of the Supreme Lord is inconceivable. If it is inconceivable, why do you have to dive deep in the unknown territory? Krishna says, no. You simply keep on doing. Tesham satatayuktanam bhajatam pradipurvakam dadami buddhi yogam tam yen mam upayanti te. Intelligence I will give, but you keep on doing. We don't have to become intelligent to do Krishna Katha or perform devotional service. Any idiot can do. But he is not an idiot. If he does, immediately he is on the highest platform. So, logic, mundane logic fails there. Why? Because prakrutebhya parebhyascha. If these activities and characters are of pare to the prakriti, beyond material nature's conception, that is the nature of achintya. That is the lakshana. Always look to the character of inconceivable nature, because it is not a product of this material world. If you hear Krishna Katha, what would you hear? The transcendental nature of Krishna's activities and pastimes, character, nama, rupa, guna, lila. These are all inconceivable. Remain in the touch of inconceivable, and inconceivable will show its mercy upon those who are servitors. You don't have to wait to find out a meaning which will be understandable by so-called learned people. People try to explain and differently, thinking that his talk was a little complicated, but let me make you understand simply. But probably you will be also not encouraged by him. It depends, because this is the factor. We cannot keep on comparing different talks. Prabhupada said, read my books, don't read any other garbage. Because he is pure devotee, he is a tattvadarshi. So we have to go to him, and he is available. till today, that he comes, chastises the devotee. Recently, I got one chastisement. Otherwise, my personal interactions with Srila Prabhupada is almost nothing. It was all indirect through Tamal Krishna Maharaj. But I did. It's a startling experience, and this chastisement has to be celebrated. It's to be celebrated. I have seen that in early days of our New York in mid-70s. A Prabhupada becomes angry. He said, Prabhupada is giving sauce to somebody, to give extra sauce means beating him up by words at least, chastising him. And devotees, they become very joyful if somebody gets chastised. Yeah? And say, Prabhu, you are so lucky that you got sauce from Srila Prabhupada directly. Really. We wish we should get sauce too. You are lucky, you are fortunate. The beginner may say, what are they talking? Where is the sauce? But he says, sauce means mercy. Chastisement means mercy. If Prabhupada notices something and he makes you aware and tells, stop it, rascal. You read in 10th canto, Prabhupada, unless Radaroga Kam Apanoti is not there, you have no access to understand Radha Krishna Leela. Stop it. Don't maneuver, don't approach. Stop it there. What a sauce. But sauce is mercy. It's the same energy. Same Maya. But this is used in serving Lord Shri Krishna to uplift his disciple, He can come even in your dream and do this job. He also loves to preach unknown people, and there are reports from Europe and Indradumna Maharaj, some disciples are really fortunate that Prabhupada preached them. They got Bhagavad Gita and their lives are changed. Prabhupada comes in their dream and they start exploring. So, to the preachers and the devotees who are engaged in spreading the movement, Prabhupada, comes appropriate time to pull us out from effect of Mahamaya and convert into Yoga Maya. So thank you very much. Anybody has any question or comments?
Ball Sugo is Krishna's energy. Ball Sugo is Krishna's energy. And that also influences such way like us.
I cannot follow.
Maharaj is saying false ego. Ego is Krishna's energy.
False ego.
False ego. Then that is influencing devotees also. Affecting living entities.
Okay. Speak in the mic, please.
False ego is
False ego.
yes, is Krishna's energy. And this false ego energy is influencing divinities like us.
But false ego has entered in us. This was the first formation of mode of ignorance enveloping the pure soul and make him contaminate. That is false ego. But true ego is there. As soon as you realize that you are subservient to Lord Shri Krishna, Daso Aham Asmi is the true ego. Ego is identity. Are you a false identity or a true identity? False identity will be a temporary identity, but it will revolve you into the repeated birth and death cycle. While the true identity, Daso Aham Asmi, it will put you in eternity.
Hare Krishna. Any more questions? We're so fortunate to have Maharaj's association. Yes, Prabhu.
Maharaj, when we are reading, we tend to speculate about the content which is mentioned there. And you mentioned that speculation is because there is no foundation.
Yes, speculation is baseless. If we are given a mandate, books are basis. The basis means foundation. Because these books are realized understanding of the standard text written by Srila Vyasa. It is the product of pure devotional service. Otherwise, there are so many commentators and translators of Srimad Bhagavatam. Their foundation is not much meaningful. It has not engaged its own readers to realize and devote the entire life, at least this life, to serve Krishna. So it depends. Tarko apratishto. And they say, oh, you are a devotee, I am a devotee, we are all devotees, so we are on the same platform. Forget it. Your foundation is poor, but we have been given guarantee by Srila Prabhupada himself. Any of my books can make you liberated. Just study. Small book, big book.
Thank you, Maharaj, for your wonderful class. Maharaj, you said that you like Mahamaya and Yogamaya are non-different, and even Prabhupada used to say sometimes like it's like energy is the same. But if
How it is then called Daivi? It is called Daivi Maya. But Daivi Maya is divine Maya. Divinity is there in Yogamaya also, and the same divinity is there in Mahamaya also.
Maharaj and Prabhupada also used to say that we are declaring war against Maya.
Maya, but that is Mahamaya. To declare against war, declare wars against the Mahamaya, it is that Yogamaya potency will be the winner.
should always be engaged in a bhakti. Then Krishna will give buddhi yoga to reach him. So, but to always remain engaged is very difficult. Like after sometimes we may feel that giving too much. Like I have to at least mind wants some sense gratification. It becomes too much. So,
Give up that stupid mind. Chant Hare Krishna and you will be able to get it cleared. Otherwise, mana eva manushyanam karanam bandha mokshaya. It's the reason that we'll be confined by that mind, otherwise we'll be liberated by that mind too. So make mind your friend, not your enemy. Atmanyeva hi atmano bandhu bandhureva ripuratmana. Okay? Yeah.
Performing devotional service by putting our end in it without understanding the purpose will attract the attention of the Lord.
Why not? Rendering devotional service is more important than understanding the devotional service. Knowingly or unknowingly, ajnanat athva jnanat ashubham yan maya kritam kshantum arhasi yat sarvam dasyaneva granamanam sthiti yatra gatirukcha stuti chintamani dasoham is imam matva kshamasva madhusudana. Why? Pratigya tava govinda name bhakta pranashyati. It's your promise that my devotee. Now, did he say some kind of devotee? Any devotee. If you have, however abominable work you have performed, apichet suduracharo, but bhajate mamananyama. Now, what are the qualifications required? Does it require any qualification? Devotee is a devotee by serving the Supreme Lord, the Supreme Cause, that's all.
Thank you so much, Maharaj. We will keep your questions for later. So first, let's thank His Holiness Vyasa Swami Maharaj for the wonderful class and encouraging all of us by once loudly chanting the Hare Krishna mantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Did you all enjoy this association? Would you want more of it? Maharaj, we are requesting you to please come on Wednesday. It's election day in Bangalore, so on 11:30 a.m. we are requesting Maharaj to come here for an.
I'm not allowed to cast a vote.
So it's nice.
Cast vote to Krishna.
So we request all of you to be here. We are requesting Maharaj once. We'll confirm it. Any of you are not there in the temple WhatsApp group, please register your name in the BBT counter. We'll add you to the group. You will see all the messages coming in. I have a few more announcements and make it quick. The darshan is also waiting. So on Wednesdays also happens to be Sri Ramanand Rai's disappearance day. So another auspicious day for us to hear